The Diary of Samuel Pepys, 5th of December, 1660. This morning the proposal which I wrote last night I showed to the officers this morning, and was well liked of, and I wrote it fair for Sir George Carteret to show to the King, and so it is to go to the Parliament. I dined at home, and after dinner I went to the new theatre, and there I saw The Merry Wives of Windsor acted. The humours of the country gentleman and the French doctor very well done, but the rest but very poorly, and Sir John Falstaff as bad as any. From thence to Mr. Will Montague's chamber to have sealed some writings tonight between Sir Robert Parkhurst and myself about my lord's £2,000. But he not coming, I went to my father's, and there found my mother still ill of the stone, and had just newly voided one, which she had let drop into the chimney, and looked and found it to show it to me. From thence home and to bed. The 6th of December, 1660. This morning some of the commissioners of Parliament and Sir William Batten went to Sir George Carteret's office here in town and paid off the chestnut. I carried my wife to Whitefriars and landed her there, and myself to Whitehall to the Privy Seal, where abundance of pardons to seal. But I was much troubled for it, because that there are no fees now coming in for them to me. Thence Mr. Moore and I alone to the Leg in King Street, and dined together on a neat's tongue and udder. From thence by coach to Mr. Crewe's to my lord, who told me of his going out of town tomorrow to settle the militia in Huntingdonshire, and did desire me to lay up a box of some rich jewels and things that there are in it, which I promised to do. After much free discourse with my lord, who tells me his mind as to his enlarging his family, and desiring me to look him out a master of the horse and other servants, we parted. From thence I walked to the Greatorex. He was not within, but there I met with Mr. Jonas Moore, and took him to the Five Bells, and drank a glass of wine, and left him. To the Temple, when Sir Robert Parkhurst, as was intended the last night, did seal the writings, and is to have the £2,000 told tomorrow. From thence by water to Parliament Stairs, and there at an alehouse to Doling, who is suddenly going into Ireland to venture his fortune, Simmons, who is at a great loss for £2,000 present money, which I was loath to let him have, though I could now do it, and do love him and think him honest and sufficient, yet loathness to part with money did dissuade me from it. Llewellyn, who was very drowsy from a dose that he had got the last night, Mr. Mount, and several others among the rest, one Mr. Pierce, an army man, who did make us the best sport for songs and stories in a Scotch tone, which he do very well, that ever I heard in my life. I never knew so good a companion in all my observation. From thence to the bridge by water, it being a most pleasant moonshine night, with a waterman who did tell such a company of bawdy stories, how once he carried a lady from Putney in such a night as this, and she bade him lie down by her, which he did, and did give her content, and a great deal more roguery. Home, and found my girl knocking at the door, it being 11 o'clock at night, her mistress having sent her out for some trivial business, which did vex me when I came in, and so I took occasion to go up and to bed in a pet. Before I went forth this morning, one came to me to give me notice that the Justices of Middlesex do meet tomorrow at Hicks Hall, and that I, as one, am desired to be there. But I fear I cannot be there, though I much desire it.